What if everything you believed about the creation of Eve was built on a monumental mistranslation? For centuries, we've been fed the story that Eve was crafted from one of Adam's ribs. But what if this isn't just incomplete, it's dangerously misleading? Imagine a world where every single detail of a story had the power to shape the moral foundations of entire civilizations. Now, what if this seemingly small detail was actually a colossal error that warped our view of gender and relationships? How different would our world be today if the truth had been known? In this video, we are peeling back the layers of time, culture, and language to reveal a shocking reality. The traditional narrative, one that has dominated religious discourse for generations, tells us that God created Adam first and then made Eve from one of Adam's ribs. This story, immortalized in Genesis 2:21-22, has been interpreted as divine proof that men are primary and women secondary. But what if the word rib is nothing more than a dangerous mistranslation? What if the original Hebrew text holds a completely different meaning, one that challenges the very foundations of these patriarchal beliefs? Today we're going to expose how the mistranslation of a single word has shaped centuries of thought, and more importantly, what the true meaning of that word can reveal about the inherent equality between men and women. Stay with us, because what you are about to discover will change your understanding of one of history's most influential stories forever. In Hebrew, the word Tsela appears over 40 times throughout the Old Testament, and shockingly, it is never translated as rib in any other instance. Instead, Tsela consistently means side chamber or even part of a structure. This raises serious doubts about its translation as rib in Genesis. Let's look at some examples. In Exodus 25:12, Tsela refers to the sides of the Ark of the Covenant. Cast 4 gold rings for it, and fasten them to its 4 feet with 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the other. Clearly, Tsela here is translated as side, not rib. Similarly, in 1 Kings 6:5, Tsela describes the chambers or rooms alongside the temple against the walls of the main hall and inner sanctuary. He built a structure around the building, in which there were side rooms. Once again, Tsela is used to denote side or chamber, supporting the argument that its translation as rib in Genesis 2:21-22 is a critical misinterpretation. The Bible has specific words for body parts. For example, the Aramaic word for rib bone, Allah, is used elsewhere in biblical texts. In Daniel 7:5, the word Alabama is used to describe the ribs in the mouth of the bear, and behold, another beast, a second one, like a bear. It was raised up on one side, and 3 ribs were in its mouth between its teeth. The deliberate use of the Hebrew word Tsela in Genesis instead of the more precise Alabama suggests that something far more significant than a mere rib was involved. Now, imagine the profound implications of this discovery. What if Tsela was never meant to mean rib but side? Picture this: instead of God taking a small, insignificant rib from Adam, he took a significant part of his side, perhaps half of his entire being. This revelation turns the traditional interpretation on its head. Eve wasn't just an afterthought, a secondary creation made from a spare part. She was made from Adam's side, a vital piece of his very essence. This changes everything. Eve was not a lesser being, but an equal counterpart, formed from an essential part of Adam, created to stand beside him as an equal. The mistranslation of Tsela as rib has had far-reaching consequences. For millennia, this flawed interpretation has justified patriarchal structures, reinforcing the idea that men are the primary beings while women are secondary. This idea has permeated religious doctrines, cultural norms, and societal structures, profoundly shaping how gender roles have been perceived and practiced across the globe. This isn't just about one mistranslation, it's about how that mistranslation has been used to reinforce systems of oppression that have persisted for centuries. Think about it: how often has the idea that Eve was created from Adam's rib been cited to argue that women are somehow less than men? This flawed notion has been used to justify the exclusion of women from leadership roles, educational opportunities, and even basic human rights. The mistranslation of Tsela has not only shaped theological beliefs, but has also influenced societal norms, keeping millions of women in positions of subservience. Consider the historical context. Throughout history, patriarchal societies have leaned on religious texts to validate their power structures. The idea that woman was created from a man's rib, a smaller, less significant part of his body, has conveniently been used to justify male dominance. This narrative has perpetuated the belief that women are naturally inferior, meant to occupy a subordinate position in society. But what if this entire belief system is built on a mistranslation? Now, let's reflect on the true meaning of Tsela. This suggests that Eve was not a secondary creation, but an equal partner, taken from Adam's side to stand beside him. This interpretation aligns with the earlier statement in Genesis 1:27, where it is written, "So God created mankind in his own image, in the image of God. He created them, male and female, he created them." This challenges the traditional hierarchy and promotes a vision of mutual respect, equality, and partnership. From the very beginning, men and women were intended to stand side by side, sharing equally in the responsibilities and blessings of life. This interpretation emphasizes that both genders are integral parts of humanity, each contributing unique strengths and perspectives. By acknowledging that Eve was created from Adam's side, we can reframe the creation story as one of partnership rather than subjugation. This perspective fosters a more inclusive and egalitarian view of gender roles, encouraging us to value the contributions of both men and women equally. Language is powerful. The words we use shape our understanding of the world. Accurate translations are critical to conveying the intended meanings of ancient texts, and misinterpretations can have lasting and profound effects. The mistranslation of Tsela as rib has had a significant impact on gender roles, but it's not too late to correct this error and reshape our view of equality. Remember, the Bible is filled with stories of powerful women who played significant roles in their communities and in spreading their faith. Deborah, Ruth, Mary Magdalene, Priscilla, these are just a few examples. These stories remind us that equality isn't a modern concept, it's deeply rooted in our religious history. By questioning traditional interpretations and seeking a deeper understanding, we can uncover the richness and complexity of these ancient texts and apply their lessons to build a more just and equitable world today. 1. Deborah the prophetess in the book of Judges. Deborah emerges not just as a prophetess, but as a powerful leader of Israel in times of turmoil. Her authority wasn't merely recognized, it was revered. Deborah's decisions guided a nation, proving that women could wield immense influence in both religious and societal leadership. Her story is a powerful testament that challenges the patriarchal norms of her time, underscoring the undeniable strength and capability of women, even in the highest positions of power. 2. Ruth and Naomi. The book of Ruth presents a narrative that transcends mere loyalty. It's a tale of unwavering resolve and relentless determination. Ruth didn't just stand by Naomi, she redefined what it means to be devoted, sacrificing everything to uphold her family. Through their journey, Ruth and Naomi shatter the perception that women are secondary figures, instead showing how they are pillars of strength and resilience in the face of insurmountable odds. Their story serves as a stark reminder of the profound impact women have on their communities and beyond. 3. Mary Magdalene. In the New Testament, Mary Magdalene emerges not as a mere follower of Jesus, but as a pivotal figure, the very first to witness his resurrection. This wasn't by accident. Her prominent role in this momentous event reveals the critical importance of women in the early Christian movement. Mary's courage and faithfulness in the face of overwhelming adversity demonstrate that women were, and always have been, key contributors to shaping religious history. Her testimony was a bold statement. Women were not just bystanders, but active participants in the divine plan. 4. Priscilla and Aquila in the New Testament. Priscilla isn't just mentioned alongside her husband Aquila, she stands out as a formidable leader in the early Christian church. Her role wasn't passive, she was actively teaching, preaching, and spreading the message of Christianity. Priscilla's leadership was so profound that it disrupted the traditional norms of her time, proving that women were vital in the foundation and expansion of the Christian faith. Her contributions weren't just significant, they were revolutionary, reshaping the way early Christian communities operated and grew. As we delve deeper into the true meaning of Tsela, it becomes clear that we must challenge long-held assumptions and push beyond surface-level interpretations. This pursuit of understanding is not just an academic exercise, it is a pathway to uncovering the richness and intricacies embedded in ancient texts. The story of Adam and Eve isn't simply a tale from antiquity, it's a mirror reflecting our deepest values and beliefs. By relentlessly seeking the truth and unraveling the original meanings of these texts, we open the door to creating a society that is not only more just but one that truly honors the complexities and contributions of every individual. Thank you for accompanying us on this journey. If you like this video, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Join us as we continue to uncover the hidden layers of biblical stories and unveil their powerful messages for our lives today.